Hello, my name is Casper. I'm going to show you how to start Unit 1 up. So first of all, you would want to turn off the offline cooling pumps. If you have both of them on, both of them off, you want them off for startup because then it's going to take you longer to reach boiling temperature. So over here you'd want to turn an auto balancer, so it balances all the rods, so they have the same average thermal power. Over here you would want to put between 10 and 15 thermal power. If you're fairly new, it will be better if you put 10, 15 for the ones that feel confident enough to quickly sync turbine. And over here we have the IPR, intermediate power range. It doesn't do anything in Unit 1, so you can just turn it on to 40 and just forget about it. But if you want to be somewhat realistic, you can turn it to 4 when it gets to around here, 20 when it gets to around here, 40, and then just leave it. I'm just going to turn it to 40 like this, so I don't have to worry about it. We have decent fuel level, fair levels of iodine, and very low xenon. You don't really have to worry about iodine. It forms mainly at high thermal powers, such as like 80 thermal power here. And then xenon just forms from iodine decaying into xenon. So over here, this panel controls the levels of the hot well, deaerator, and reactor. So we'd want to turn on every single pump here. And turn auto control. Ideally you should have 0 meters, as that is the optimum level for the thing. And with polishers, you can have both of them off, but it gives you this annunciator. You can have one on, you can have the second one on, you can have both of them on, and it makes no difference, but for me it just feels right to have polisher 1 on. Over here, you have the condenser circulation panel. You want for this to be between these two yellow lines, which shows the place where the turbine will basically work, where you have vacuum. So you want one steam jet air ejector on 100%. You can have 2, but it's better to have 1. So let's say the first one is damaged, you can switch to the second one and then swap out which one you're using mainly. But usually both of them work the same. They're not really for emergency, the second one. Condenser air remover just removes the pressure when circulation doesn't really want to work there. You would want to turn on both of these on and both condenser air removers on. With circulation pumps you would want to be between 15 and 25. I'm going to go 25 just so it's faster. But you do have to watch out because sometimes it can go under the pressure and scram the reactor. But usually with 25% it won't do that. With deaerator, you don't really have to worry about it when you're starting up. What I usually do is just put it 40% inlet and 80% outlet. So I have some steam going into the deaerator. You would want to worry about this after you have sync time, when you're at demand or something. With condenser storage tank, CST, you'd want around 80. Please don't make it go to 100 because then you don't have control over draining the hot well like this. and then it's just very annoying. And then there is a way to lower it without having a leak, but for new players which are probably watching this, it isn't the best thing to do. So over with electrical, I'll show you later, but basically, let's say, I'll show you how to turn on generator. Let's say you have no power. You have these emergency lights on from the battery power. And then what you want to do to start generator, even though this pump it doesn't have power, so imagine this. There's no power coming from off-site here. Imagine this is on, but there's no power going through. And you'd want to turn this on, which is from the battery. Turn this. The ignition circuit has power thing. You turn on diesel. You switch this. And then you wait when it's 1800 RPM and this is green. You turn this on, and then you're basically powering your lights all from generator. And this should only be used when you have off-site, no off-site power. So over here, you can probably hear time too low. So that means that reactor time is under 30 seconds. And when it's pretty low, like 30 seconds, that means the thermal power is rising pretty quickly. And I'm not sure if it's times 3 or if it's 2.72 or something like that. So it is pretty fast. And then at 20 seconds, you could just do this. At 20 seconds, it will scram. Well, if I were you, I would let automatic control do the job for you, so it's faster. As you can see, intermediate power range is going up. So if it was at 4, it will give you this. And it will tell you that IPR is too high. At 20%, we'll go here, give you the IPR too high again, and then just put it to 40 and it'll just stop because that's the maximum you can go. So we're almost reaching boiling temperature, and we don't have a demand yet, so you don't really have to worry about demand as long as you don't have the generator synced. So now we have boiling temperature, 100 degrees Celsius, and then the pressure will go down because the circulation pumps are now condensing the steam from the reactor. It goes through the bypass. There should be somewhere. So let's say there was a bypass. Oh, it's right here. It goes down here. Here, gets condensed, goes to the hot wall, just goes around. It just goes around and around, like always. And the condenser uses water from a lake or a reservoir, so it just uses whatever water it can get, and then just condenses it. Usually it's cold water, so all of the very hot steam, which is around 270 degrees Celsius, gets touched with touches the pipes and the stuff that with the cold water, it just gets condensed, ends up as water which is around 30 degrees, 40 degrees hot, and it just gets pumped with the condenser pump to the deaerator. It boils it at 108 degrees Celsius, so it removes any unwanted things. Right, so as we are in between the two yellows, both of these buttons must be on. If one of them is off, it won't work. If both of them are on, it will work. And if you turn one off, it won't work. So auto will just keep the pressure around 54 millimoles. So as turbine is pressure is increasing, or the reactor pressure. You can close bypass and increase turbine. With the unit 1 you can go as fast as you want. You can go 60% inlet, 10% inlet, and with 10% you won't really sink. Unless your pressure is at almost 8,000, but I suggest you don't do that. You can have some bypass on, so the pressure doesn't go over 8,000 kilopascal, and then scram the reactor. I'm just going to show you with 40% in that. I usually go 60% because I just know how to do it very quickly. That's the sound for new demand. Is 960 megawatts, so approximately 79 thermal power, 80. And the demands like change with the time of day. So like between 11 o'clock and 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock, it will be over 850 megawatts. I don't have the exact values with me right now, but I have it all written down, so if you want it you can just DM me on Discord or something. So now as the turbine RPM is slowing down, you can close bypass more and increase turbine inlet, and approximately 1 turbine inlet equals 3 bypass. So if I have 3, it will go down by 8. If I lower by 1, it will go down by around 10. So now as we are in between 3,400 RPM and 3,800 RPM, technically is landing, so we can turn on the generator power already before we are synced. And this landing is when you don't have offside power, so you're not synced, because if you're synced the power isn't going anywhere and it's just gonna trip itself because the power's not going anywhere. So when your RPM isn't fast, isn't changing too quickly, hit the sync. You have to be +5 or -5 of 3,600 RPM to sync. And now once you're synced, you can turn automatic pressure hold. It is pretty buggy for some reason. You want to keep your generator load above 0 megawatts. If it goes below 0 megawatts, like -3 megawatts, it means that you're using more power to keep the generator synced to the grid than what you're actually making. And this will cause reverse power, which will desync the turbine from the grid, and then you're slightly in trouble. Because if you're new and you wouldn't know what to do, everything will just shut down basically. You won't have power, you won't have power to the feed water pumps, and if you don't know what to do, you will scram for low water level at -4 meters reactor level. So as we are synced, you'd probably want to go to 30 thermal power. If your fuel is very low, like 60%, you most likely won't get past 20% reactor thermal power without going to not enough rods, which is the 90% rods equivalent rods position in the withdrawal position. So you would want to turn on these resoak pumps, which remove any voids inside the reactor, which increases thermal power. It does depend on the reactor type. In this case, with classic, with our BMK, you would reduce it and kind of make it more stable. So these are malfunctions tags, the ones on the left, the yellow and red. These basically just let you tag a malfunction device. So let's say steam jet air ejector 2 is broken and it's on. You can't tag it, it has to be off. Then you can tag it. Then you go over to this phone, press it, and it will show you if you got it correct or wrong. If you got one wrong and you got like 7 correct, you get 0 points. So if you're not sure, don't tag it, or get someone experienced to work it out for you if it's broken or not. There's a guide on Discord as well that I've made for fixing different malfunctions like recirculation, feed water, preheaters, condenser pumps, steam jet air ejectors, and circulation pumps. These 2 pumps, condenser air removal, can't break. Polishers in Unit 1 can't break. These 2 can't break. The inlets and outlets can't break. And these pumps over here, RCIC and offline cooling pumps and LPCI, they can't break. They can have no power, these 3, and then they won't basically work. LPCI works when your reactor pressure is underneath 3 MPa or 3000 kilopascal. So if it's above 3000 kilopascal, it won't work because the pressure is too high. RCIC, it uses steam from the reactor pressure, and only this diagram is like this, so you can't really see it. Basically it just isolates the core. There's an image in Unit 2, find it. Also do ignore my lag spikes, my PC isn't the best. So the red lines here, that is the RCIC and stuff like that. The HX is the heat exchanger, or shutdown cooling system is called differently, or just offline cooling pumps in Unit 1. And it uses condenser storage tanks, CSD, water, and it just pumps into the core. So let's go back to Unit 1, there where I am showing you. So our demand is 960 megawatts. So you would want to press 80% reactor set point and the second start button on the right, which controls the recirc. With this you can change the reactor set point. There's really no point for you to go to 100% reactor thermal power, so please don't. Unless you're doing some testing in private servers, then sure, have fun. So for now we're just gonna wait until we reach the demand. And for now you can basically concentrate on the aerator while everything is on automatic control. So you can reduce steam inlet to around 25, 27 for 80 thermal power. And you can just wait until the reactor thermal power has reached its set point, which is 80. You can increase the flow, decrease the flow, but sometimes it's just better to let the automatic control do it. I'm just gonna do it so I don't keep you waiting here for long. So now we're coming pretty close to 80 thermal power, so the water control is adjusting the pumps slowly to reach it more smoothly. And we are now at demand. So that's basically how you meet demand. Let's say you have to shut down, you get maintenance. All you have to do, lower thermal power, switch to startup transformer, desync, or just trip the turbine, turn on both cooling pumps, keep everything on auto, just wait. RCIC should only be used when you have no offside power, so it just uses steam and drives it into a pump. It uses steam and then it uses that pump to drive water into the reactor. I may have gotten that wrong anyways. Just woke up like 30 minutes ago. So now as we are at a pretty high thermal power, the xenon level should go down and the iodine level should go up. So you could probably see on this monitor more accurate xenon level. So it's 18.2, and as we are at 80 thermal power, as you can see it just went down to 18.1. So we'll just slowly go down, but it won't go down to 0. It's pretty much impossible. It is possible, but you're going to be fighting with the reactor for a long time to get that. So as I am an inspector and I love to run Unit 1, I always turn off automatic control for every single system. When you're at demand, you don't really need auto balancer anyways, because all the rods are balanced. As you can see, there's no more than 0.6 thermal power difference just for this one. But usually that fuel channel has a low thermal power, well, has low fuel levels, excuse me. And these like thermal power, temperature things, don't really worry about them. On everything but RBMK, it will be very hot at the top and very cold at the bottom. So let's say I do this. I'll show you that this thermal power, this is pretty hot for this level, very hot. And if I go all the way up to here, and I go here, it will show you that it's pretty good actually. These are kind of high, but it will just gives you the average thermal here. So as you can see, the reactor thermal power is increasing as the xenon is burning up. Now it's at 17.6. It just changed. It will just grow slowly, and then the iodine level will go up, and then eventually the xenon level will go up when the iodine is high enough. So I'm just going to turn off all automatic control and fix the aerator. You would want around 108 degrees. Also, I don't find this isn't accurate anymore. It was added just before they added a new thing with the aerator, so don't worry with this. And this switch is absolutely disgusting. It's off center. When you have this off, you're basically using more. You're basically making the battery power these stuff here, the control room panels, to make the battery level go more slowly up. So when you have this, it will just basically stop using the battery power just use the power from the generator. You can shut down the server from having 0% battery level. I've only seen that happen twice ever. Once to me and once to another person. So that's basically it to starting up Unit 1. If you want to see how to do manual control, this is basically how you do it. When your reactor thermal power, this is for classic, you just decrease the reset levels slightly and the reactor thermal power will go down. Eventually just stops going down and it will start going back up. Now as you can see, it's going back up. Or you can go over here and just use the rods. The SMF just shows the 3 different speeds you can have. With slow, it will do whatever you want slowly. With medium, it will do it medium speed, and fast, it will do that. Ideally, you would want to learn in a private server, so you don't really get in the way of other people. It would just help people with, it would just let people just do their thing. So over here, let's say our flows are unbalanced, like this. It isn't very balanced, you know, taking more out of the hot well and then more out of the deaerator. So how to do it, just lower the levels like this, and when you increase it, you have more water going from the deaerator to the reactor, and then the reactor level will increase and the deaerator level will decrease. So you'd want to basically match the flows to lower level of something. Let's say the reactor, just do this, just lower the outlet from the deaerator, and then you can just lower the hot well. Let's say your deaerator level is like this and your flows are very well matched like this. What you can do is this, and now you basically have 0 meter level everywhere. Now over here, it's pretty easy. It's just one switch. More circulation value means lower pressure. Less circulation value means higher pressure. Now the demand is slightly lower, this is what you can do. Lower the thermal power with recirc slightly. I may have done a bit too much. You can gently go down and increase it so it just stops quicker. Now the reactor pressure is going down, so you want to close a bit of turbine in there, and then this reduces the generator load, but then this increases the pressure, which then goes back and increases the generator. So you'd want to pretty much find the correct spot for the turbine value. If there isn't one, just ignore it. And now as you can see, you probably just saw this go off, and now again that means that the penalty for having reactor auto control on, or any auto control on, is gone. So I don't really care about points by this point. I have a lot. So let's say it's on. This will turn on. When you turn it off, this will stay on for 5 minutes, and then you will have less points gained. And having one of these on means 1 less point a second. When you're full manual, you get 1 point a second in here. In Unit 2, including turbine full manual, you get 4 points every 3 seconds, or 1.33 recurring points a second. So as with demand, you would want to just readjust the flows. And what 1% here basically means 10 kilograms per second, around that. Now the flows are matched. Let's say your hot roll level is going down. Turn on makeup. The hot roll level will go up. And let's say your hot roll level is at around 0.5 meters and you want for it to go to 0 meters. And you just turn on drain and it will go down. And then makeup uses CSD level, so 0.1% of CSD level means 0.1 hot roll. It doesn't really matter because there's no way you're getting 0% condenser storage tank level in Unit 1. In Unit 2 it just happens so much that every other day I have to intervene with a meltdown because CSD level is low, RCI zero's on or something, and it just uses all the CSD level to melt. And which, by the way, meltdown effects are implemented at -8 meters in Unit 1, the reactor starts to melt. In Unit 2, the reactor melts at -5 meters level. And as I said, LPCI will work at over 3000 kilopascal. So if you're above it, won't work. So as we are slightly above demand, we're just outside of it, you need to keep plus dash minus 50 megawatts demand to get the same points. It doesn't matter how close you are to the network demand set by the game, you get the same amount of points. So if you're pretty much above it, above the demand, just lower reset level, and then do what you have to do with the turbine. These main cooling control. So yeah, that's basically it. If you're pretty stressed out with and scared with doing all of this manual, you can try off with learning one by one. So let's say you're scared with the main cooling control, you can just turn on auto and it's just gonna stay on, and then it will do it for you once you can peacefully and more calmly learn circulation, condenser circulation, turbine, or just the reactor thermal power. And then when you're ready, you can just start trying to learn everything at once, but do it at your own pace. If you're scared, slowly do it. If you're too scared, then perhaps get some help or get someone to help you, like let's say me. I'm happy to help anyone. I usually just do stuff for other people if they are scared of doing it. I usually teach. So yeah, I'd say that's pretty much it. Let me just show you how it looks like when you get a malfunction wrong. You press this and you're cool. No, nothing designated to be repaired because you got that wrong. If you got it correct, it'll show you a correct one, how many you got correct, how many you got wrong. And then, as I said at the beginning, if you get 7 correct and you got 1 wrong, you get 0 points. So if you're not sure, then just don't do it. Don't tag it, or just get someone to help you with it. Over here you can see the logs, you can see me use the technician phone. And yeah, you can pretty much see me do everything. So let's say, here's a simple way to, if a troller, let's say I'm a troller, show you what a controller would do. I would go from over here, let's say, go in, go straight to a control, grip it, and then maybe press grab. And you see, as you can see, the rod's position is going down pretty fast. It used to be pretty slow. Now, as always, usually when you've scrammed, your pumps are going to be using a lot of power. Like right now is at 100%, and it will just do that. And then let's say you had no offside power. Like we have offside power, but this won't have any power. You do this, bam bam. And as I said in the beginning, do this when you have 1800. Click this, and then you have power. And when you have power, this. And let's say, as we have no power, this is what I suggest. RCIC on, 100% inlet, and then there is steam flow into the pump. The pump is spinning, I can't speak today. And then, in return, it will give you feed water flow. And if we look at reactor level, a bit more, you should start see soon how it is slowing down, and it'll go up. Now just ignore these alarms when you have, let's say, offsite. We have offsite power, so I'm just showing you if we didn't have offsite power. And now there is more water going into the reactor than there is going out of it. So now your reactor level will start to increase, like right now. As you can see, it's bending, and then it goes up. You just wait until we have 1800, and then you'll see these pumps in action. Sometimes when you are about to get power, you can turn on emergency steam relief. This reduces the pressure, and in reducing the pressure, it reduces the temperature. So it's a good way to shut down, but it isn't the best thing to do. Should mainly be used in emergencies, which offsite technically is, but as your temperature decreases, thermal expansion physics exist, so the reactor level will go down. And as you can see, I turned on steam relief, and it went down pretty rapidly. So the RPM is almost at 1800, and once it is at 1800, like now, you'll have this green light, and now the emergency bus is powered. It won't power this because that takes way too much energy. And now you don't have to use battery power anymore. You can use this, and now you're basically using starter transformer, but you don't have power in the top half, the main pumps, and you just have power down there in the emergency bus, like condenser air removal, both of them, LPCI, offline coolings. Now, as we are at, let me show you how LPCI doesn't work when over. So we are under 3000 kilopascal, so the reactor level will increase, as seen here. It It's increasing rapidly. Now then, as our reactor pressure is now at 3000 kilopascal, LPCI is not working. As you can see, the reactor level is dropping because the reactor is still boiling the water. There's still pressure. So ideally you would want bypass on, then LPCI will be working. And just so you know, you can't change the fuel level. So as I started at 84% fuel, it will stay at 84% fuel until the end of the server. So it will stay like this forever basically. Well then, I think I've covered all the points. It's giving me another demand, which I don't really need. I would love to have a silent mute button, like in Unit 2. Oh well. Might come in a Unit 1 rework, which is probably pretty soon, within a month. I estimate. Don't take it as completely true. Might be in 2 months, might be next week. Next week of this record of the video, so there is no exact date. Devs don't really set deadlines, as it stresses them out, and it's pretty understandable. Because I wouldn't be happy if I have 1 week to finish off a large project, and I still have a lot to do, and I just get stressed and then make lots of mistakes. Anyways, I believe that's everything. I believe that is very much everything. If there are any questions, ping me on Discord, or just ask questions in YouTube and I'll try my best, or someone can answer the question for you. Oh well, goodbye.